All right, here we go. This is the first report 3.0 with Fletcher Tabito.
And Clayton Mitchell.
That actually rhymed.
Did it? No,
Yeah,
no.
Not my part did, your one did. Anyway, it's been a few weeks since our last get-together. The reason being, of course, we had a couple of weeks of recess. And Fletcher, you've been away, and so have I. Where have you been?
So I've been in the Pacific with the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister and pushing the reset button on our relationship with the Pacific Islands, which is fantastic.
How'd you get on with Bainiarama?
We didn't actually get into Fiji.
I shouldn't have even mentioned that, should I? Anyway, carry on.
We'll get there. We'll
Good,
get there.
good.
And then South America and opened up an embassy in Bogota, Colombia. So bring on the trade there.
Were you on TV over there?
Yes, actually, that was tough.
Live TV.
9 o'clock in the morning start, but didn't actually get into the country until 2 o'clock the previous morning, and then live TV.
Tough life.
So
mate.
What about you? Where have you been?
Oh, I've been to the beach. No, I'm joking. Well, actually, I'm not joking. I'm actually telling you the truth. I went to Mauritius, and I don't actually feel very comfortable saying that, but I was actually on a Commonwealth Parliamentary Association trip. That's a CPA, if you want the acronym.
And I know what goes on, so you didn't get to see the beach, did you?
Well, I did actually get to see the
Oh,
beach,
you
but
did?
it was like after 7 o'clock each night, and it was a really beautiful island, great infrastructure. They speak a lot of French, so I was a little bit lost for words and saying, bonjour, ça va, très bien. But the CPA tour itself was actually pretty exciting. There was about 34 countries represented there. I was expecting a very sort of collegial, convivial, cuddly sort of environment, and I have to say it was a little bit hostile at times, but
It's a debate on democracy, though, right?
it's all about democracy and the ways we can get better democracy. And I have to say, I'm very proud of our country. One of only 9 countries on the planet that have had an unbroken democracy.
Exactly.
So it's pretty spectacular.
For hundreds of years. I can't remember the exact
175 years.
100 good
And I have to say that we are very much respected internationally for our democracy here in New Zealand, and we've got to get better engagement. We've got to get better ways that we can actually get the people of New Zealand to speak up.
So I just want to say one thing about this week. Spoke on one of the taxation pieces of legislation this week in the House.
That's right.
And it was going to be a boring contribution, but then the new finance minister, finance spokesperson in National Party got up, and my God, talk about laying it on thick, trying to tell the House and the New Zealand public that there was a new capital gains tax. No, sorry.
All there was a change of date, wasn't it?
Yep, the bright line test which National brought in. That's what we're continuing
They
with.
were saying, I remember them saying that it was a bad piece of legislation, but we had to point out, or you pointed out to them that, hang on a minute, you wrote it. We've just changed the date.
Yep, exactly. So it was a real standout for me this week. Just unbelievable.
Fantastic. Look, it has been a big, long week. Fletcher hasn't been home for nearly a month. I haven't been home for a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to Easter. I hope everybody's got a great one planned.
Have a happy Easter.
Fletch, most peculiar person in the house.
Oh, no. You tell me.
Oh, no, I asked the question. You've got to answer it now.
This guy, Clayton Mitchell.
He is a bit peculiar. He is a bit, good one there.
No, I daren't say on live, on video.
Well, we're not live. Well, mine's quite clearly David Seymour. I mean, seriously. He's a very interesting guy, and I've actually started to extend a hand, an olive branch, if you will, and I'm actually starting to build a relationship with him, not an intimate one in any stretch of the imagination.
Thank goodness. Glad to hear it.
But I tell you, I find him very, very interesting, and we'll be more on that later, I'm sure. I might have to go and have a beer with him to, get to understand
Apologise for this.
Anyway, all the best for the Easter weekend. Spend time with your friends and your family, and we'll be back next week with the first report 4.0.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Bye.